Now to start off with our Kong sketch, we're going to begin right about here on our paper, and I'm going to go with this 3B drawing pencil. This is kind of like a darker pencil, but not so dark. It's going to be good for some shading and whatnot. So we're going to start right about here, and I'm just going to begin by making a little line that's just going to come down, and then we're going to just come up and down like this. Now we're going to leave just a little bit of space. We're going to do that same thing over here. So we're just going to go down, then we're going to come up like a check mark. Next, starting here, we're going to draw a line that's just going to go down, and we're going to come up. I'm just kind of lightly sketching this. We'll do the same thing over here. We're just going to go down, and then we're going to come up to form the eyes. Next, I'm going to take this line, I'm going to bring it up, and we're just going to bring it down a little bit. We want to come over here and do the same thing on this side. We're just going to bring them up and take it down for the eyebrows. Now I want to leave a little bit of space down here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line that's going to come up, we're going to come down, and we're going to go back up and then down to form the nose. We're just going to kind of bring this down and then in. Now right inside of here we're going to go up, and then we're going to come down on each side. So we're just going to go up and then we come down. And then we're just going to bring it down here in the middle. Now right above here I'm going to just make some little lines that are just going to go from one side to the next. And I'm just sketching all these lines out right now. Right underneath the eyes, I like to add a couple little extra lines just for some wrinkles. Now starting here at the nose, we're going to draw a line that's going to come out, and then we're going to bring it down. We'll do the same thing here. We're going to come out, and then we're just going to bring it down here. These are going to be the sides of his mouth. Right across here, I'm going to leave a little bit of space, and we're just going to make kind of like a little bit of a frowny face as we come across here. Starting here, we're going to make a line that's going to come out, we're going to go down, and we're going to bring it across. Do the same thing here, just for kind of like his lip. Next, I'm just going to make some small little lines that come right across here, just to kind of show where there's going to be some fur underneath there. Now we're going to come back up here by the eyes, and I'm going to make a line that's going to go out. We're going to come down, and we're going to bring it in here, kind of almost to the nose. So we just come in, we're going to go down, we're going to come in, and then bring it right up here to about the nose. Now starting right here, we're going to make a line that's going to come down, and I'm going to make some of these little kind of like scratchy lines on here as I bring it down. This is going to be where his beard is going to be. So we're just going to bring these all the way down and connect them. Now starting right about here, I'm going to draw a little line. I'm going to make some of those same kind of scratchy lines for some fur, and we're going to bring the lines just going to come down and then in. Do the same thing over here on this side. We're going to start in, we just come out a little bit, and then we're going to bring it down. Then I'm going to bring these lines up, and we're just going to curve them around the top here to form his head. So I'm just going to bring these right along here, and we're just going to connect it. Now right over here, we're just going to draw a little line. It's going to come up, and then it's going to come down. Same thing here, we're going to come up, and then we'll just come down here. And then right inside here, we're just going to draw a little line. It's just going to come up and down like a little hook shape. So here's our basic shape of our Kong. Now we want to come in here and start doing some sketching, and I'm going to stick with this 3B pencil for right now. So I like to kind of start with some of the darker areas first. So I'm going to start right over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this a little bit darker right along the top. So I'm just going to kind of make this darker right along the top of the eye, and we'll do the same thing over here. Next I'm going to do is I'm just going to start coloring this in. I'm going to push down a little bit harder, and I'm going to make this kind of dark right along the top. And then as I get closer towards the top of the shape, I'm just going to pick up my pencil and make this a little bit lighter as I come up. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing over here. So we start out nice and dark at the bottom, and then we're going to slowly just kind of come in here and get a little bit darker as we come up. Next, I'm going to come down here and just kind of darken up some of these lines here. So I'm going to darken up a little bit right around his eyes and these lines that are just underneath his eyes. Now, right underneath his eyes, I'm just going to push very, very lightly towards the top of his eye, and then right underneath the eyebrow, I'm just going to push very, very lightly and just make it really light here on top, just for a little bit of shadow. Then I'm going to make it a little bit darker right around his eyes here. We're going to start out dark and get a little bit lighter. So same thing, we're just going to start out nice and dark. We're going to get just a little bit lighter. We're going to make these kind of dark here and then just get a little bit lighter as we come up as well. Same thing here, we're just going to get a little bit darker, and I'm just going to bring this up a little bit lighter. Next, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to make the inside of his nose really nice and dark. I want to get this as dark as I possibly can. I'm going to color most of this in. Then I'm just going to get a little bit lighter as I get towards the bottom. Now, right around the nose, we can come in here and make this darker as well. So we'll do the whole shape of the nose. Nice and dark. And then I'm also going to darken up this top part of his mouth as well. We're going to make this nice and dark right around the edges. Then we're going to get these lines next. We're going to make these really dark. And I'm going to darken up the top of these as well, just so we can kind of define some areas. Now right here above the nose, we're going to darken this and then just get a little bit lighter as we come up towards the top. And we'll do the same on each of these. Start out dark and then a little bit lighter. I'm going to darken up this area right around these. And we'll make a little line right in here too. I'm going to add just a tiny bit of shading right around the edge of the nose, and we're just going to do this right around here. a little bit in the middle. We're also going to darken up his mouth right here too. Right along the edge here, we want to start out a little bit darker, and then we're going to slowly lighten it up as we come towards the middle. And I'll do the same thing on this side. We're just going to darken it up on the edge, and then we're going to slowly lighten it as we come towards the middle. I'm just really picking up on my pencil here. Make kind of a little bit of shading right here along top of his mouth. I'm going to bring this line in and over, and we're going to darken this up. Then we're just going to go a little bit lighter as we come down here. I'm going to come in here and add just a few little lines with my pencil. Next, we're just going to kind of darken up these lines right around here. And we're going to add just a little bit more shading in there. Kind of darken up some of these areas. I'm going to go with a little light shading right around here. Now over here on the ears, we can do that same thing. We'll darken it up, especially in the middle here. We'll go nice and dark and then slowly get a little bit lighter. Do that same thing, just kind of darken this up. Get nice and dark inside the ear, a little bit lighter. Do a little bit of light shading right around there. I'm going to come in here and just kind of darken up right around the eyes just a little bit. And a little bit underneath here just to really make them pop out. Now I'm going to switch over to my 5B pencil now just so I can get something that's even darker. And real quick before I do that, I'm going to add just a little bit of light shading right here on the lip. You can see I'm leaving a little bit of white on there as well. Just kind of highlight it. So I'm going to come in here with my 5B so I can get something a little bit darker. And I'm going to really start to go nice and dark right around the edge here of Kong's face. Going to make it really nice and dark here. And you can see I'm going more in like a back and forth, up and down motion just so I can kind of get some of that fur texture. And as I come up here, I'm going to do that same thing. I'm going at an angle first. Then I'm going to come back and switch directions. I'm going back and forth now. And I'm just going to do this all the way around his face. And we'll do this all the way down here as well. Next we're going to come in here and I'm going to make this dark, dark line all the way around the bottom here where his beard is starting to form. Now I'm just going to start making some back and forth lines in here like this just so we can get some of that fur texture. I'm leaving some big spaces in here too. I'm just kind of more laying down a little bit of color. And I'm going to follow that line pattern that I was going. So see how I'm going up and down here? I'm going to make these come up and down as well. And I'm just going to kind of follow my line work in here. And we're going to do this all the way around here to get our Kong. Now in here, I'm just going to kind of go up and down, just so I can kind of lay out where I want all of his fur to be. So now I'm just going to come in here and start making these dark lines in here, just so we can add some different texture. I'm going to make them a little darker around the edge here, and just kind of dragging my pencil up into here. Do the same thing over here, just going to get nice and dark right around the edge, and we're going to bring this up in here. Now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go a little bit lighter as I come down, so we can blend some of these colors together. Same thing here, just going to go a little bit lighter. We're going to do some of that same stuff up here. We're just going to go, want to go like dark to light. And we're just going to kind of bring these lines all the way around. And I'm just kind of going back and forth over these. I want them to be kind of furry, give a lot of texture and detail in here. I'm going to do this all the way around. I'm going to do the same thing down here, just make some nice dark lines. And then bring them back up towards his beard, or right towards the face. Now I'm just going to kind of come in here and highlight some different areas by making them a little darker. So in some of these areas here, I'm just going to darken them up just a little bit by adding a little more shading in here. Going a little bit darker and then bringing in a little bit lighter. Do the same thing up here too. Kind of go around the ears, give them a little bit of texture. A couple little darker lines in here to kind of show some detail on his mouth where he might have some scars and stuff. And then you can always come in with a white charcoal pencil, and you can always kind of add some of the different highlights and stuff in here, some different areas that you want to pop a little bit more. Just going to bring this in and just add a few little lines in here just to kind of help define some stuff. I'm going to make it a little bit darker down here too. I'm just going to kind of come out here and just add some quick little lines just to make them look a lot more furry. And we're just going to come in here and add a little bit more, some little bit more darker colors. And there you go, there is your drawing of Kong, or your sketch of Kong. So this is just a quick one I wanted to do for you guys. If you like these and would like to see more of them, definitely let me know, and we can always do some more of these. We can do lots of the different Godzilla Titans, and we can really have some fun with these, coming up with some different Titan sketches and things like that. But there you go. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed.